Trigger warning. This presentation contains images, videos, and phrases which may be distressing to those who are struggling with body image, mental health, and eating disorders. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Diet Culture in Media by Amber Williamson. Agenda. Influence on youth. The definition of diet culture, as well as looking into some studies about its impacts when influenced as a child, past and present. Looking into the media we grew up with and the studies that relate to differing interpretations when exposed. Where from here? How we can improve the current system in order to benefit present and future media audiences. Week 3, Representation and Interpretation. I will be exploring the rise in harmful past and present diet cultures that have flooded our media through the years. I wish to delve into the media from the early 2000s, which myself and many others grew up with and were exposed to constantly when we were children. I aim to discover whether or not the diet culture references present in children and teenage media are interpreted differently by adults when compared to the target audience. I will investigate how this media has impacted the mental health of Gen Z and millennial individuals. Breaking down the term. Diet, an eating plan in which someone eats less food or only particular types of food because they want to become thinner. Culture, the attitudes, behaviour, opinions, etc. of a particular group of people within society. Diet culture's influence on youth. Influence. In 2002, 925 students aged between 9 to 14 were given a questionnaire coming to the conclusion that the media portrays thinness as ideal and being overweight as negative. This study was conducted when Gen Z were between the ages of 0 to 6 years old and millennials were between the ages of 7 to 23 years old. This means these two generations were in this media flood where women were being shamed for what they eat and their size. This shows that children can thoroughly interpret media and certain messages. Using the hypodermic needle theory, this study shows that diet culture related messages are injected into their brains. Fat bad, skinny good is the conveyed message that's being injected when children's media, which children copy and relate to, brings up their diet or weight. These messages are most often targeted and conveyed in female targeted media, and the characters these comments are directed towards are almost always female. Past and present. Example, Bratz. Bratz was a television series that's first season aired from 2005 to 2006. Episode 16 aired on March 18, 2006, and the plot followed a dream that one of the main characters, Jade, was having. After defeating the villain Burdine Maxwell, Jade says she won't shoot Maxwell if she eats a single cheeseburger, with Maxwell exclaiming, "Carbs, are you trying to make me fat?" before taking a single bite from the burger. Maxwell then begins to inflate like a balloon, getting larger and larger. What are the multiple ways this scene can be interpreted by adults? Dominant. This is hyperbole and a dream, so it's not connected to reality. This is only happening to the villain and not the main characters, so we shouldn't care. Negotiated. This is a lighthearted joke. It's the villain of the story, but we still care about her well-being to a degree. Resistant. This message and the demonization of carbs is outdated and unhealthy for one's mental and physical health. What are the multiple ways this scene can be interpreted by children? Dominant. This is a funny scene within a dream. She is fat in a comical way and deserves it for being so mean to the Bratz pack. Negotiated. If I were to eat a single bite of a cheeseburger, I would also blow up like that. And being fat is bad, as shown by no fat characters being present. Resistant. I don't care what happens, because Burdine is a terrible person and deserves to be fat and explode. Consequences. Children are becoming aware of dieting behaviours and fads at a really young age. Haley K. Don't and Marika Tigman did a study in 2006 around the awareness of dieting and body image in girls aged between 5 to 8 years old. The study found that girls at age 6 already had a desire to be thinner, with peers and media being significant sources on their desire for thinness and dieting awareness. By Bratz being a show that is aimed towards children and teenagers, as well as airing on children's television channels, outlawing carbohydrates and showing false consequences to children, they have actively been feeding into harmful diet fads and instilling them into children who watch this episode. Bratz as a brand has always been controversial when it comes to the body types they present to their child demographic. Bratz dolls have swollen heads, pouty lips, spindly limbs, and chunky heeled shoes. Their waists are barely wider than their necks. They're Kewpie dolls in a time of famine, Jill Lepore from the New York estates. Bratz have since made an effort to clean up their reputation with a mid-size animation uploaded to their TikTok account representing Nori Reed in their iconic Bratz style. How does this link to today's diet culture? Carbohydrates are still demonized to this day, even after Cheryl Rock, PhD, RD, Associate Professor in the Department of Family and Preventative Medicine at the University of California, broke down the Atkins diet, low carb, as an example fad diet. Rock states that although those on the diet had their cholesterol go down, science has shown that coronary heart disease, breast cancer, and colon cancer are possible outcomes from eating such a diet. So why are these diets that are outdated still being advertised as healthy? Carbohydrates were easy to make the weight loss demon due to them being one of the easiest nutrients for people to cut out. In the 1990s, people found these diets to be easy due to individuals being able to eat as much protein as they wanted, which were the previous cause of weight gain. Thus, due to more people losing weight when cutting out carbs, they were considered unhealthy and easy to market as evil to desperate individuals wanting to lose weight. Carbohydrates are an essential component of post-exercise nutrition and is recommended to be consumed within 15 to 30 minutes after working out for athletes. The media, however, shadows the benefits due to the fat bad, skinny good mentality that has been present for years due to healthiness not being a main goal, but to become skinny. Younger people and children are taught that those who are older are wiser, so why would they be able to interpret these messages written by adults as anything other than truthful? Influencers with societal ideal body types are constantly flooding our social media feeds with fear and guilt about what we eat. This comes after a study was conducted in 2022 about health-related influencer claims, showing that over half of the 494 Instagram health claims that were shown had no medical evidence backing them up when checking the legitimacy on PubMed. Looking up information and the legitimacy of claims can be difficult for children and teenagers due to the rapid spread of misinformation and confusion. Where from here? Conclusion. Diet culture in past media has influenced a lot of body image issues that are present in millennial and Gen Z women. TikTok user Maya Garland _ series called Diet Culture plus Kids Media has a lot of commenters relating to how this media impacted how they ate after watching scenes related to weight and dieting as children. Although these messages are no longer present in children media in the present day, the damage has been done. Young girls can still have access to toxic dieting and weight imagery just by logging into social media where they're flooded with misinformation and photoshopped bodies. Based on my research, I have concluded that peers and media are the main causes of body dissatisfaction in women. We need to do our duty to stop misinformation for profit from vulnerable people and spread information about respecting our bodies as they do amazing things for us. Body positivity movements have started, and a crackdown on harmful stereotypes with a focus on weight has been kicked up by psychologists and those fighting to break the cycle. We also need to try and avoid bringing up toxic diet culture into regular conversations, breaking that usual cycle of guilt that we place on ourselves and others for what they eat and the amount they eat. Feedback. I have addressed the feedback from my A2 pitch by connecting my findings back into a weekly topic more thoroughly compared to in my pitch. I lacked evidence and examples in my pitch, which I fixed up by making the connection clearer. The presentation method has been updated in a girly, childlike aesthetic to represent the innocence of the younger generations that grew up with these media messages.